collaboration, unlocking youth-driven solutions for sustainability. This theme is a call to action, an invitation to harness our creativity, ideas, and passion for a sustainable future. It's a declaration that our youth have the power to drive change, to find solutions that transcend boundaries, and to make a lasting impact. Together, we will unlock a world of possibilities, challenge norms, and create a legacy of positive change. Get ready to shape the future together. Youth break the boundaries, inspire the next.
Take your time to breathe. Take a moment and listen to your calling. It lies deep inside of you. Beyond the line, wide awake and feel the world you live in. There are chances away. Never seen, but then you realize you're here where you belong. You got a voice, go make it heard. Nothing can hold you back from what is meant for you. 'Cause we are the youth. You got a voice, go make it heard. Nothing can hold you back from what is meant for you. You got a voice, go make it heard. Nothing can hold you back from what is meant for you. 'Cause we are the youth. Head up high till we stand and rise. And we hold each other so much that we can do.
Okay, hello everyone. Hope you are fine. Merhabalar. So today we have a great session because our speakers are really MVP in previous Istanbul Youth Summit 2023. So she was the best fully funded participants, and then she was the best leaders also, and then she's got a lot of award in previous Istanbul Youth Summit. So maybe I can greeting to her. Hi Zoha, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm
Glory.
fine. So where are you right now? Are you in Pakistan?
No, I'm in the United Kingdom. I'm in Nottingham.
Okay, so thank you so much for being our speakers in pre-orientation Istanbul Youth Summit. So here we are. Some of the viewers are the participants for Istanbul Youth Summit next year. So maybe I will open first for this session. Hello everyone. As you know that this is the pre-orientation for Istanbul Youth Summit 2024. So you will have like a lot of session before you going to Istanbul. And then for today, we will talk about the elevating education quality, especially for motivating the youth, the future to become sustainable nation and global citizen. So basically, Zoha Javed already run with the social project that she already done before, and then maybe in the next session we will have and talk about the social project, but today we will talk about the social project of her that she already done before, especially because she's got interest from the speaker as well in Istanbul Summit, right? From Mr. Arta. So this one of the speaker of the Istanbul Summit last year is really interesting with her, and then she got the contact with direct to the speaker, and then yeah, maybe I didn't know what happened next. Maybe Zoha will tell about it later. So before we start the session, maybe I want to remind you guys, if you haven't pay for the batch 1 and for the batch 2, yeah, just pay. If you have any problem for funding or some things like that, you can contact our admin, and then maybe she will help you and guide you how to finish that. Okay, as you know that this session is organized by your Break the Boundaries because we as foundation that focus on all the yard improvement skill and some things like that. So maybe yeah, you already know, and stay tuned for the fully funded announcement, because I think the fully funded announcement will be announced next week. So I cannot wait who are the participants got fully funded participants. Okay, so without further ado, let's come Zoha Javed. Maybe I will read some brief about Zoha Javed. So she is the Commonwealth Shared Scholars 23, and she's also Social Responsibility Project Management and Public Policy in Emarat Group, I guess. And then she's also take master degree, I think, in UK right now. Congratulations for your achievement. And then, yeah, she's a lot of skills right here. You can rate it, guys. Marketing, public speaking, but definitely Zoha Javed is really, really great. And your biggest, you can motivate yourself to be like her, because she's the MVP in previous Istanbul Youth Summit. Yeah, you can learn more from her actually. So she's a lot of experiences like marketing, business owner, marketing intern, something. Yeah, you can see in here a lot of achievement and a lot of experience and leadership. So without further ado, yeah, let's come Joha. Are you ready for the presentation right now?
Yes, yes. Let me share my screen.
Okay, sure. Yeah, okay, well, waiting Zoha to prepare her screen. So I want to know, where are you coming from, guys? So I already read here, come from Malaysia, some things. Yeah, just put on the chat. And if you have any question, or if you have any inquiries about her social project or about the iOS previous India, hello from India, yeah, you can put on the chat, and then we will have the discussion with Zoha in the last of her presentation. Okay, are you ready right now, Zoha?
Yeah, I'm ready. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, it's visible right now. Okay, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, the time is yours.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm very excited to be here. And just like 1 year ago, I was at the same position that you guys are right now. And it's a very exciting opportunity to, apply for an international summit. And it's a great opportunity to put yourself out there and to learn the maximum in this just 1 week. Today I'm going to be talking about elevating educational quality, SDGs in action. And before I start on that, I want to emphasize a bit upon the importance of SDGs in action. So when you guys applied for the summit, your inspiration could be multiple. You just are really passionate about SDGs, or maybe you just want to go and explore Turkey, or you just want international networking. But the real purpose in your project, or whatever you're aiming to achieve in this summit, is that you should get your SDGs, your projects into action. That's very important. Why? Because everybody talks about SDGs. It's very easy to come up with an idea. It is very easy to make a presentation. But the real part comes is that can you deliver your project? Can you implement it? Can you put it into action or not? Because coming up with ideas about green technology, green economy, sustainable development, sustainable usage of materials, that is something you can do with research, with online research. All the ideas are there if you just work hard enough on internet. But the real challenge is that how do you put those SDGs in action? How do you drive yourself to achieve all the, overcome all the barriers, all the obstacles to actually put the sustainable development goals into action? And you might say that, at your age, most of you must be undergraduates or you just graduated. You must be like, how can we implement or put SDGs in action? The problem with this perspective is that every time we talk about a project, we think about it at a very higher level. For example, maybe, just changing the economy all at once or revolutionizing a complete area or a complete city with my model. That's not the approach that you guys need to take. You need to start at a very grassroots level, pick a very small area of a problem and start working on that. Focus your research on that niche, and that's when you can, kind of like focus more into action. How to put SDGs into action. Okay, I don't know what this mark is. Anyways, so I'm just going to introduce you to my pilot project, which is Tamir Se Taalim. And what it means is that from construction to education. What it means is basically that the concept is that instead of wasting construction material or construction waste that is left over at the construction projects, you reuse them to rehabilitate or renovate underprivileged schools in slum areas. Now, I worked at a construction company for 2 years, and I'm not working there anymore. But like, I was a fresh graduate, just like you guys, or like you guys will be next year or so. And at the company, when you're a new person, you're a new employee, you're given a ground to kind of like, come up with innovations. I want you to utilize that and think about how you can innovate some sustainable models within your company or within the area that you're working. That's the approach that I took, always action oriented. What change can I bring on ground? And the number one thing was just look at the waste material. I was passionate about slum rehabilitation. I was passionate about improving conditions in the slums near my houses in my city. And hence, the solution came to me that you can reuse leftover construction material that we employ at our mega projects, luxurious projects, and renovate schools with it. For example, cement waste, leftover paints, bricks, wood waste, and all of that. And for that, I partner with international organizations as well as national organizations and local partners and authorities. So let's dig deeper into that. So how does this project, how did I align it with SDGs? So there are like 17 SDGs: no poverty, there's quality education, decent work and economic growth, sustainable cities, responsible consumption and production. It's not necessary that if you have a project, it will just align with one SDG. It can align with multiple SDGs as well. For example, my major theme was sustainable cities and communities because I was reducing carbon footprint of construction. But it was also targeting quality education because I'm improving the infrastructure in underprivileged schools where children do not like to come to school. They're already very poor. The school is just like a dilapidated structure. It provides free education to poor people, to poor people's children. So really, there's no incentive. It doesn't fall under the government. The government does not produce any schooling opportunities in slum areas because there's a lot of legal issues there. So that's why working there, it was very important. And this project then not only talked about slums, but also quality education in there. And then it also talks about responsible consumption and production because we're minimizing environmental impact. And we kind of like reused almost all of our good waste, which was just sitting around there. And we reduced our cement waste as well by 30%. So with these approaches, this is the kind of thing that you guys need to do. Don't just go for like, I have to revolutionize 100% project or like 100% of waste. Even if you can do it 20%, 30%, or you're just thinking, halfway there, you're good to go. Just start small. what were the key objectives and outcomes of this project was that we wanted to improve educational quality. And it's not just about the curriculum. It's just imagine that right now you're very privileged. You have a laptop, you have a screen, you can hear me, you have the privilege to come and attend this summit, hopefully. So now imagine you didn't have all of this and you are studying, you have, even if the books are good, everything, you're studying in a school which is suffering from peeling walls, there is smell around, there is wastage around. That will impact your learning and you will simply not want to come to school. Now that's the biggest obstacle there is when it comes to regions that are underdeveloped. And hence our objective is that with this model, in the coming years, we are able to improve the educational quality in underprivileged areas. And why should we focus in underprivileged areas when it comes to sustainable development goals? Is because when it comes to environmental impact, climate change, these are the areas that are impacted the most by climate change. So when you're thinking about your projects, for example, if you're focusing on a company, think in the perspective of the company, how the businessman would think, how do you incentivize the businessman to do a project like this? If you're focusing on an underprivileged community, you have to drop down to their level and think about their basic necessities. So like, once again, don't just think that I have to give them a number one world-class state-of-the-art school. That's not possible. That's not realistic. You won't be able to get the budget for it from your company as well or from any other organization. So you just have to focus on the basic things that you need to improve, like the structure, like the safety. So that was our number one objective. The second was reduce construction waste, and we succeeded in that. And third was you have to engage youth and local communities. You have to talk with the teachers. You have to talk with any of the local communities. If you're doing any project like this, you have to make sure that local authorities around there, you are in good contact with them, you are interacting with them, because all of these practices, they need to be very inclusive. What were some of the innovative strategies and approaches that we took? We used recycled material. We focused on what we already have, because when you're an advocate for SDGs, it's very hard to, the biggest challenge is budget. So you need to minimize budget. So if you go to a businessman and say, this is something extra that you have no use for it, let's reuse it, let's market it right. It will create a better image for you. It's called corporate social responsibility. To look into it, it's corporate social responsibility basically means that all businesses earn profit, right? If they earn profit, they have a responsibility towards society, a social responsibility to allocate some profit percentage to community development, to society's development. And every company is supposed to do that. In some countries, it's completely legal. Internationally, it's recommended. Even businesses are done with the companies who take care of their CSR, who take care of their environmental, societal impact. So this is something that you guys need to explore in your projects. If you're doing a project whereby you can maybe, partner with a business and incentivize them that, you can get really good reputational marketing out of it. You can get a very good CSR project. You can get CSR credits internationally. That's when they will start listening to you and they will like, what's in it for me, right? So that's one innovative strategy. So you have to think from the management point of view. You have to think about the budget. You have to think about what is the excess that maybe you can, redirect. Collaborations are very important. Just do your internet search, do your online search. Look for example, I found this school online. I came to know that they had a nationwide network of free education schools in slum areas. So I partnered with them. I conducted a need assessment, on-ground assessment of the schools. What is it that they're lacking? I turned out it was furniture. So we made furniture from the wood waste and gave it to them. They did not have chairs. Now they have chairs. They study on chairs. We renovated a school. It was in a very bad condition. We repainted the walls and the reaction of children was amazing. We will see a short film later as well. And then project-based learning, that you keep improving what you're doing. So you keep stages of all of the phases of your project and you learn from it and you improvise, innovate. You keep innovating. For example, phase one was if we just focused on reusing wood waste, then in phase two, we went towards other kind of wastes as well. Engagement with local communities and stakeholders. So I talked about this point recently as well. We're just gonna go a bit deeper into it. Go for partnerships. People like it. People in the corporate sector, what do they like? Or in the government sector, what do they like? Press release, PR, right? They want a good image. The government wants to make the public believe that they care about all people. They are inclusive and they are just taking part in these innovative, advanced projects. So partner with them and look at the PR perspective. Many people look down upon this, but when I am working for SGDs, I always think like this, that if a company is getting a good PR out of it, that's enough for me. If that's enough for me because they are getting satisfied, I am getting, as long as I'm getting that benefit out of them and redirecting them towards the people who actually need it, my purpose is full. So we have to be a bit realistic about how we balance the needs. Community sessions. So the schools that I was working with, I would hold sessions with them. For example, I will arrange activities, competitions for the children. So if you have any projects like this, what you can do is create an on-site event. It will not cost you too much. Just choose the event to be at their location in their school or in their office or whatever. Make it a small community thing. Raise some funds. Have a high tea and print some certificates, do an activity, award people. What that does is that engagement with the local community increases tenfold. You are, just doing that extra effort to engage face to face. So this is something that you really need to ensure in any of your SDGs, wherever you're focusing upon, whichever project you're focusing upon, engage. How will you make those people engage and talk and network with one another? Then interviews is something that we did to learn about and document the progress of our projects, and documentary and film. We made a documentary in the first phase, we made a documentary in the second phase. They're all available on YouTube. You can watch them. And a short film we will watch together now as well. What were the challenges and barriers? Limited resources. This is something all of you will face. Where do you get the money from, right? And even now I'm struggling. I have to continue this project. I have to secure funding. But this is where Istanbul Youth Summit comes in as well. When you participate in such summits and you show what you got, you show your medal to the judges, or even whatever, for example, Corey mentioned these 3 awards that I got. Best group, best essay writer, best presenter. What does that do for me? When I put them on my CV, when I put them in my scholarship applications, they simply elevate my entire corporate image, right? This is what you guys need to do as well. Now, how does it connect to challenges and barriers? Is that when you have certified, accredited yourself, that's when you can overcome these challenges and barriers to overcome any limited resources, because they play a great role to convince other people that you're not just talking about your project, you're actually doing it, you're passionate about it, you're a realistic person, they can trust you to deliver results. So that's very important for you to develop. And when you're working in underprivileged communities, there are always cultural differences, because those people, they might have a different point of view about how their school should be and how you want them to be. Maybe if you are studying a modern posh school, you want that, you know what, I'm just gonna revolutionize the school I've found, and I'm going to install all the latest technology. I have the funds for it, and I'm just going to introduce a uniform or maybe make videos or whatever. But those people, that community might not be happy with it. So you have to really, kind of like mingle into the community. For example, when I was making documentary and films there, so the children in grade 5 or grade 6 and 7, they were not allowed to participate. Not children, girls. They were not allowed to participate because there are some backlashes from the family, or the schools were simply not happy with it. So, sorry. So you have to tackle that. You have to understand them. You don't have to impose what your worldview is onto them. You can inspire them, but you cannot impose it on them. So you have to be very careful about how you navigate those cultural differences. And scope limitations is something I've talked from the start. Project scope should not be so big that I want to change the world. No, you just change this small area around your house first, and then you expand your sphere of influence. That's how change works. So be very realistic about scope. For example, my scope initially was that I want to rehabilitate slums with construction waste, something which is a big say, which is a bit vague. So I narrowed it down to schools and slums, and that then, kind of balanced it all out. We didn't have enough construction waste and leftover material to rehabilitate entire slums, obviously. So what do? Just focus on certain structures then. So you have to minimize your project scope a little. But all of these, there are also political challenges. How do you motivate people who will try to stop your project? How do you overcome the barriers where people just simply stall you, people just ignore you? How do you address these barriers? Because these are not little barriers. I worked for 2 years on this project. I faced a lot of barriers, faced a lot of resistance, faced a lot of mood shifts. I had to convince management to work on this project. My question to you right now, by raise of hand, if anybody can guess, it's a very simple answer. How do you address all of this? If anybody can just kind of like speak up. Just raise your hand if anybody can guess, or you can just simply type in the chat box. How do you address? Wait a minute. Uh-oh, I'm sorry. Just a minute. You can raise your hand or you can type in the box. If you're facing a lot of obstacles, if you're at a stage where you just built your project, now you have to face all of these obstacles, do research, deal with businessmen. What will be your okay, my question is that there are many challenges and barriers when it comes to implementation of your project. And there's always a way around them. But what is the main thing that helps you address these challenges? Identification of
Excuse
the
me.
root cause. Yes. Is somebody speaking?
Yes, Mohammed Imran speaks.
Yes.
Yeah, I have some little experience about addressing about education or SGDs goals.
All right.
As I have previous experience in the Rotary International, and I have successfully completed my presidential tenure uh, since 2022 to 2023 about SDGs goals, which include education, cultural, and health.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Imran.
And
Um,
recently, I posted about the sports event and as well as health and education, which include some schools peoples and their parents. And we provide some necessary equipment, just like if someone have eyesight problem, then we give him proper medication and as well as free operations.
okay. Okay, thank you, Imran. Thank you. Thank you for sharing
Just
your point of
some
view.
simple.
We will get back to other
Thank you.
participants so that everybody has an equal chance of speaking. Thank you so much. Thank you, Imran. Okay, so we have some good answers in the chat box as well. And Lela is saying you should be consistent with what you're doing. Listen to them, share your points to them. It will surely work as it works for me. It takes time, but it works. That's an excellent point. Basically, this is what it's all about. How much of a good listener are you? And how much are you taking your notes? How much observant you are? And what is even behind listening and sharing points and dealing with them? There's also one other primary thing. Stevens is saying, I think community engagement can go a long way to help because every parent in communication in the world knows the impact and importance of education, so they're most likely bound to show up to push the goals forward. Yes, engagement, continuously engage with your people that are being impacted, people that, all the stakeholders, basically people who are spending and people who are getting the benefit from it. Consistency is the key. It's an excellent point. Zinara, consistency. Listening to people, being consistent. Now you have the first challenge. You're not getting a meeting with the chairman. You're not gonna just simply sit down and say, you know what, it's never gonna happen. No, you just keep consistency is the goal to it. So whenever you're designing your project, if you don't have these characteristics to listen to the people on the other side, be consistent with the progress of your project, you're not gonna implement. You won't get there. Bilal is saying if you believe in something, you can do the possible to fight any problems to continue. So I'm okay, sure, no worries, Bilal. But yes, that's an excellent point. That's the starting point. That's what I was talking about. If your belief is strong, more than belief, it's also about motivation, your drive. If you are driven to implement, no matter what they throw at you, you are going to implement, no matter what happens, no matter if some people are against you, no matter if you're not securing the budget, no matter if the meeting is being delayed and delayed and delayed again, no matter if you're being ignored 1,000 times. If you're consistent, if you listen to their fears, if you voice their fears and deal with them, And if your belief is strong enough, that's when you just limited resources, cultural differences, scope limitations, budgetary resources, all of this you can overcome if your belief is strong enough. That's the main point. Are you driven enough? Are you compassionate about the thing that you're doing? If you're just going to do a project just for the sake of a good presentation or an award, you won't get there. Guys, be very careful about this thing. Don't chase money, don't chase awards, don't chase recognitions. These things will come after you. They're supposed to chase you. You're not supposed to chase them. You're supposed to work hard. You're supposed to have that belief. You're supposed to work on the ground and implement. And other things that you just want to maybe get recognition, acknowledgement, awards, whatever it is, publications, they will run after you. You will not be running after them. And when that's happening, you're doing the right thing. If that's not happening and you have to just, kind of like security, it won't work that way. So yeah, belief, listening, consistency, dedication. I always listen to okay. I respect their point and views, but I always stood my ground. I'm a woman coordinator of bank. My main goal is to include female into financial services. Exactly. Have the same energy, dedication. Yes, to eventually overcome challenges in your project. You must have defined the scope of your project. Yes. If your project is not clear enough, if your scope is not clear enough, people are not going to listen to you. People who just take time out to listen to your project, they're not going to listen to you if your scope is not clear. Projects do not go exactly as planned sometimes. Flexibility, adaptability, I think clear and two-way communication. Yeah, two-way communication is a two-way road. That's it. Thank you so much, guys, for your participation. Those were some excellent points. You know already what it takes to, go out there and win the battle. So next up, inclusivity and education. That is something that we ensured in our project by prioritizing underprivileged communities, by providing mentorship opportunities and awareness on SDGs. So last 2 points are very important. We're going to touch on them very quickly. When you work with a community, don't leave them after your project is complete. Don't feel like, you know what, I've done your benefit, bye-bye, ta-da. No, that's not how it happens. You're supposed to give mentorship to, for example, if there are children involved, students involved, continue mentorship opportunities, continue, visit that site once in a while, talk to the people, build a community, build that value-based relationships with the people. That's what makes your project successful. That's what makes your project inclusive. Awareness and SDGs is very important. Now, you might be working on sustainable development goals and your bosses and United Nations or whatever you have, whatever organization you partner with will be very well educated in SDGs, but the people that you're working on, the community, if they do not understand sustainable development and you're doing no basic effort to make them understand sustainable development and climate change and environmental impact and how they should be responsible for maintaining their own areas, their own problems as well, then you're doing just half the job. Just giving them something on a plate, that's not it. You need to make them feel that when you grow up, you're supposed to take care of this. I have taken care of XYZ problem of your area. You will continue from here. I will not be there for every, step of the way to keep this revolutionary impact going on. You are responsible for it. For example, in my community sessions, I would ask the children, what is it that bothers them the most? They would point out the mess outside the school, the waste, the smell, the environment, the pollution. And when I would ask them what they want to become when they grow up, all of them would say doctors, teacher, cook, and a soldier in the army. That's all they thought. And I would say, none of you, not a single person in this classroom told me that they want to grow up and solve the problems of the area they just listed. If all of you are going to leave this area and go away from this community, who is going to solve the problems? You should be saying that, you know what, ma'am, I will grow up and I will solve these problems. So that is the mindset shift that you have to make in those children. It has to be very inspiring. It has to be very positive. So awareness and SDGs is not just for you. It's not just for the businessman that you're trying to convince. It's also for the community that you're working for. So impacting, yeah.
Zoha, this is very interesting. Just my pleasure. I just got my internet connection. So can I ask you questions about the challenge just now? You mentioned about this challenge, right? Can you share about the challenge just now? How do you solve the challenge, the inclusive challenge related to your project? Because your project is very interesting. So I just want to know what kind of challenge that you face and how do you overcome that in your project? Is it okay?
Yeah, sure. This one, how did I overcome it? So, challenge number one was convincing the management of my company. How did I do that? So I made a presentation and I just understood. I talked about this recently as well. What does your company want? What does the local government want? You are going to them for a meeting and you're saying, let me do this project in this area. What do they want? They want a stake in it. They want to say, at the end of the day, they did it. They did an amazing job. They revolutionized this area. Let them have that stage. Marketing, you need to understand marketing very well. As long as you're marketing, even at Istanbul Youth Summit, why do you guys are here? Because of their marketing, right? Because of how they market their entire project. It inspires you. It wants you to take part in it. It wants you to, be part of the change. Now, similarly, that's how you're supposed to make your business partners and your organizations feel. So how did I convince them is that I told them about the marketing advantages. I told them that we can make a film and a documentary, and when it will be launched, we will be able to create a lot of buzz in the city about your company. It was a relatively new company as well. And the moment we did it, we got international recognition from top marketers as well upon the film and documentary. So when your chairman will come to know that, what do they want at the end of the day? They want awareness that their brand is the best, it's amazing, it's sustainable, it cares about the people. They want to build that image. So once you check check these are their incentives and match them with your presentation, whatever you're proposing, you're going to win the game. They're going to listen to you. Other than that, budgeting. So just be very sensible about budgeting. Don't ask them for like 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs on something that is not adding to their profits. That is something being subtracted from their budget, right? So you have to be realistic. They're at the end of the world, like businesses, they are profit making machines. So you have to create a balance that you give a good budget, like minimal budget, and also see that's why I focused on excessive material to cut down my budget. If I just ask them to, let's just renovate a school, they will never do it. It's the job of the government, they will say. Or they will say, this is not our business line. So what you're going to do, match it with their excessive material. So just imagine if you own a business and you just issue a PR that in my company, we used all of its waste to rehabilitate this certain building. What image will that create for your business? You will get so much praise. You will get so much acknowledgement from the business community, from your customers. So if you're selling these points to your businesses, to your chairman, to your management, they will listen to you and they will give you the project. So you just not only talk about that, actually do it. Because I designed entire social media campaigns. I produced two films, two documentaries. I produced teasers. You have to think it feel like a mega. You just don't think about just doing it on the ground. You have to think that half of the effort goes online to create that awareness, to create that buzz around an idea so that businesses, they feel like, yes, this is something I want to do. Because year round, if there's one campaign that is making people think about this brand as a very competitive, good, environment friendly brand, that's what they want. So the number one thing is drop down to their level. I told that in the start as well. You have to drop to the level of the business community and to the underprivileged communities to work on those challenges. And as for cultural challenges, how to make them feel included, I talked about that as well. That you're supposed to conduct some sessions with them. You're supposed to talk with them. You're supposed to network with them, and you're supposed to understand them, and just conduct events. Like I conducted these award competitions, and children participated in environment friendly ideas, climate change, all of that. And with that, they were able to connect. And the most amazing part was that we made documentaries and films. So the children were so excited about that, and they were so happy that something is happening in their little school that doesn't ever deserve any attention. For them, it's a game changer. For them, it's something they never imagined could happen in their school. So that's how you overcome challenges. You identify the human element. All people, human beings, even if they are just about profit or their own selves, they have a human element. Touch upon that. And if you have passion and belief, and if they see your passion, if you speak with passion, they will listen to you. That's how you overcome challenges. That's why I talked about belief and drive as the starting point of overcoming all challenges. Because if you don't have that drive, if you don't have belief in your own project and your own self to do the project, why will they listen to you? Why will they waste your time with you? So work on yourself, work on your presentations, work on your pitches, practice speaking, and also kind of like build skills like public speaking, how to give presentations. That's very important. You still have time, you still are there in the point of your career where you can develop these skills, work on that, and then you can overcome all of these challenges. That's how I did it. I hope that answers your question. We have already covered impact and key collaborations. I'm not gonna go again and again into this. Just remember, your 1% can be someone's 100%. For me, it's a 1%. For me, it's not enough. I just still want to secure more funds and make it a greater project. I've just worked with 3 schools. It's not enough for me, but I know it's 100% for a child in those schools. For them, it's 100% because their school improved. But for me, it's not. So even a small effort can go a long way. Just always remember that. Next up, can we watch a video? I just want to give you guys a feel about what I'm talking. When you produce something like this at the end of your project, if you take care of the marketing aspect and awareness aspect, that's when greater change happens because you educate the public as well about your project then. Let me know if you guys can hear
No, not yet. It's
Can
not
hear?
audio. I think you should like share the audio first when you share the screen.
Okay. Share sound. Can you hear now?
कल सुबह
Can you hear?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Let's watch this. Very short.
कल सुबह आँख खुली तो स्कूल जाने को दिल नहीं किया। स्कूल इतना गंदा है, न बैठने की जगह न साफ दीवारें। लेकिन आज स्कूल आया तो सब कुछ नया लगा। गार्ड अंकल हंस रहे थे, पहले कम हंसते थे। अली मुझसे पहले स्कूल आ जाता है, कल कहता कि अब उसे स्कूल पहले से ज़्यादा प्यारा लगता है। पहले नीचे लिखा भी नहीं जाता था। जिस दिन कुर्सियाँ आई तो हमने नीचे बैठ के पढ़ना ही छोड़ दिया। उस दिन हम सब बहुत खुश हुए थे। मजदूर अंकल की मेहनत ने हमारे स्कूल को बिल्कुल नया बना दिया है। आपको पता है, एक दिन कुछ बाजियां आईं, उन्होंने सारी दीवारों पे प्यारे प्यारे रंग कर दिए। अब तो ये पुराना स्कूल लगता ही नहीं। अब नए स्कूल में हम सबका और सारी चीज़ों का ख्याल रखेंगे। ये मेरे स्कूल की कहानी है जो बहुत प्यारा हो गया है। अब पढ़ाई में और भी ज़्यादा दिल लगता है।
Now you see what I did in that video, what I'm talking about. If you have that vision, if you have a story to tell with your project, if you build a community, if you build people, if you have all of those values centered together, if you have a holistic vision and leadership, you can overcome all the barriers and make everybody win, make the community win, make yourself win, make the company win, make the government win. They're all happy with this because they all took part in it, they all were engaged in it, and they did it. So that's the value of engaging your community, engaging your people, engaging all the stakeholders, and also having that belief push you forward. So how I won 3 awards last year, how? I gave my best. You have to give your best. You live this life once. And I want to tell you at this point in your stage, you live your life once and you know it. If you don't give your best in this life, what's the point, right? Number 1. Number 2, if you're working for sustainable development goals or any socially responsible project, if in your life you have a right to develop yourself, to enjoy your privilege, But if you don't share that privilege, if you don't build people around you, even if it's 2 people, 3 people, 100 people, or 1,000 people, it's of life. What is it? You can have all the words on the shelf, you can have all the achievements, but if you haven't changed someone's life, if you haven't created change for them, then what is the purpose? Let that drive you to create something in this world that when you leave it behind, people will remember you for it and learn from it and continue that tradition down the road and know that the world is also a good place. So you're the hope in this world. And if you're getting to the summit, there's some tips that I want to share with you guys. Don't hesitate to initiate conversation. You won't believe it, but I'm also an introvert. It's very hard for me to initiate conversation, but this is something I overcame by mastering small talk, how to talk with people, how to ask them questions about their background and all. But now it's very easy when it comes to social media. Do not hesitate. It can be very, kind of like an anxious experience to meet new people from all over the countries. Just initiate conversation and scan QR code. It's as easy as that. Just open your Instagram app, share profile, or Snapchat, or whatever it is that you're using, WhatsApp even. Just scan the codes right there, connect with them, and that's it. You do that, even if you don't come across that person again in the summit because there's so many people, online later on, you guys will be engaging on your content, on your post, or in your inbox. That's what you need to do. You need to really focus on your networking. When it comes to networking, you don't only network with people, other candidates from other countries, you network with the judges, you network with the committee. Follow them on their LinkedIn's, on their social media, talk to them, talk to the judges. They're always open their panels at the end. They also talk to you later on in the photo sessions that occur after the end of every event. So just approach them, talk to them about it. I had one professor, Mehmet, he gave such a great lecture on SAS and SDGs and CSR that he actually changed so many of my perceptions. And I talked to him and I came to know about his books and I'm reading those books. I read his slides, I read his lectures, and that opened to me about the beauty of SDGs and its importance in Islam and how SDGs is something that should be a part of life. It should not be a leaking bucket. SDGs should not be just a cost that the world pays or the businesses pays for creating profit and not thinking about the world. It should be something that is out of ihsas, out of compassion and empathy. So CV impressions. Now, when you get an award, or even if you're selected for this summit, there are a lot of applications. In my time, there were 22,000 applications. So I use that figure. I use that number everywhere in my CV, in my statement for Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, and that sets you apart already. And that's how you can, make your CV, make your applications very distinct. Moderator role. There, I don't know if this summit has the options for moderator or not, but in this summit in the Feb, they had this opportunity that anybody from the candidates could take part and lead sessions on the stage with the guest speakers, which was a very good experience for me because I got to talk to them on stage. I got a new experience, I got new confidence, and that was something I did on the spot. So it was very good for me. And this is something that you should not miss out on, because when you mention these things in a job interview or on your CV anywhere, you just get yourself that competitive edge. Vlogging coverage. This is for people who are into blogging. So like cover the event, cover the benefits of it, share the insights, make some small videos, upload them on YouTube. This also improves your network online on social media. Across the border impact. Keep your friendships. These two things are interrelated. So when I launched this film, I messaged all of my friends from Istanbul Youth Summit, and I was so humbled by that. They all shared it. They all supported me so much. So having that support across the borders from people around you, that's such a beautiful experience. If you're coming to the summit, enjoy all you want, but you need to make sure that you network with people, right? If you don't have enough time, then just do it online later on and keep your friendships. If there's a birthday, wish them happy birthday. If you see on their stories that they just graduated, wish them a happy graduation. So just keep in contact, because it comes when you grow up, you will reach your 30s or 35 and you still have these people around to support you whenever you achieve something in your career. That's a very beautiful concept, and that's what is diversity in collaboration is. The whole purpose of the summit. Just use that and act on your idea and continue collaboration. Do not just cut yourself off. I'm still associated with Istanbul Youth Summit. I still engage with their events. I'm here. Just give your time and continue that network. You have to put in your effort as well. So this is all from me. If you guys have any further questions, you can ask. If later on something comes to your mind, you can scan the QR code or simply use that username. You can follow me on Instagram. You can reach me. I always reply within few days. And right now, the floor is open to you guys. If you have any questions, please ask.
Zoha,
Yes.
Okay, so great session. I'm so sorry, Miss Yuli. So maybe we can give your session for discussion later. So thank you so much, Zoha, for the presentation. So maybe for this session, I will give like three change to participants to ask direct to Zoha with I ask to Zoha directly. Okay, maybe I will give change. Zoha, could you please like turn off your share screen so we can like make
Yeah.
okay, great
Done.
gallery screen. Okay, so great. So maybe I will give three chance for the participants to ask Zoha directly. But before it, maybe I will ask you because I'm interested with one thing. As you leader in your previous Istanbul Youth Summit, so how you manage your social project? I mean, you come up with your social project with another team, right? I mean, the member of your team which is didn't know about your social project. So how you manage them to know and to understand about your social project in 3 months? Because as you know that we works for the social project for 3 months, I think at least, yeah.
Yeah. So we made a rule that we will meet every week, and we all decided on a time. So the secret to why we came together and we gave that presentation that we gave at the summit is because we met regularly and each week, and I will teach them again and again. I shared basic ideas. I gave them time. I was patient with them, and showing them some videos was also very kind of like simplified things for them, and just dropped down to their level. And I applied it to Indonesian context. I did some research on Indonesia's construction waste and population. And when I did that, they were able to relate to the project, and then they were listening to me, and then they wanted to do this project as well. So when you're working in a group, it's for everyone. Try to relate to each other. Don't like reply to each other. It's just 3 months. It's not gonna take that much time. It took me like what? It took us 10 minutes or 15 minutes to talk to each other, and then we will have a short video, like short call, 30 minutes call. We will just update each other on what we are doing, divide the task. It's all about consistency, communication, not being shy, and understanding that yes, life goes on and you have a job and you have a university or whatever. But if this is something going on the side, just dedicate 1 hour, 2 hour, or maximum 4 hours per week to this session, and you will be set apart. That's how our group did it.
Okay, so maybe another participant can note the tips from Zoha Javed to make some relation each week because she also join like create the Zoom meeting like this in every week for their groups. Okay, so we have like we already have like two participants here that want to ask directly to you, Zoha. Maybe first of all, I will give Adiatul Amira to ask to Zoha. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Hello.
Sure.
Hi.
Hi, Zoha. I'm Amira from Malaysia. My question is quite personal because it relates with motivation and drive. As you mentioned before, if like you you will have like problems in the project implementation. So like what drive you to like continue doing the project? Yeah, that is my question. What makes you what motivates you to keep doing the project even though like there are so many challenges that you face in that implementation phase? That's all.
Okay. Thank you. So, I was personally involved in the project, or you could say I got myself personally involved. When you have personal involvement, you care. How? So this, mentioned that this slum area was close to my home. I used to see children daily dragging water trolleys because they didn't have access to water, they didn't have access to gas, they didn't have access to basic necessities. And in my research in university, I visited this slum. And when I visited the slum and I saw the conditions that they were living in, it was painful. It was painful for me, and that was a very changing experience for me that I live so close by. I live in a luxurious house. These children, why are they living like this? So when you care, when you're honest and pure in your care and in your compassion, you feel it here. When your heart is involved in your project, that's when you can overcome any kind of obstacle. When you hear a no, there was a time when, like, I think it was like 4 months that there was no feedback on. Everything was ready, documentary film, each and everything was ready about my project. The documentary that just you saw, I was unable to launch it due to some political reasons and due to some, tensions. It happens in every company. But I still kept on going because I knew at the end of the day, I have to give these children that smile that I promised them. So it's your end product that drives you. If your end product is just, if you're doing a project and your end project is, I will use this project to get a scholarship. I will use this project to get into Istanbul Youth Summit. I will use this project to get recognition. You will never get there. But if your intention is, I want to create change. I want to see that smile on that kid's face. I promised this kid that I will remove the waste outside of school. I'm gonna do it because of that. That personal care, motivation, empathy, compassion, belief, that is what will make you overcome any challenges, and you will keep going on. And when other people see you, when I left the company, my boss said to me that you can overcome anything, you can do anything in your life because you're consistent and you keep doing it no matter what. And he would give example that be like her because she will continue repeating, being consistent no matter how many times I will say no, she will be there and convincing me. So they test your metal. So let's see, if you're a boss and you see this small individual who just came into your company working so hard, and she's coming after you again and again, convincing you do this, it's a great project, it will be great for your marketing, you will take notice because you're consistent. And how you are consistent, you care. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so much, Zoha, for the motivation. So yeah, I also like imagine how we like you. So basically, yeah, the biggest motivation is come from yourself, guys. So yeah, we come up for the next question, Zoha. Oh, I think there are a lot of men here, but the questioner is come always from lady. So maybe yeah, Sharifa, the time is yours. So I wait for the men for us to Zoha. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Kak Koriah, and thank you, Zoha, for the amazing interview. I'm from Indonesia, and I would like to ask you a question. It's about, you mentioned about public speaking and also not being shy. Was it like, it's just your personality of being bold and wanting to have this big project for the happiness of your people, or like was it a process of being able to be confident? Like, do you have any process of being what you are right now? That is my question. Thank you.
That's a very good question. And yeah, there's always this debate: are you born with it or do you learn it? Maybe I was born with it or not, but I discovered it. And how I discovered that I could speak and I could create impact, or I have this drive to make things happen, is when there was this incident in my country. It was APS Peshawar attack, and there were like more than 100 children my age were martyred in that attack. It was such a bad exposure to the reality of the world that it hit me then that this is it. This cannot go on. And that's when I started speaking about injustice in the society. That's when I recognized that spark to speak and be bold. So this confidence, I would say, it comes from care and pain. It comes from pain in the sense that you feel so much injustice around you that you just realize that the only option left to rely on for a change is yourself. Because if you keep expecting it from people around you, from your politicians, from your government, from XYZ person, from your parents, from your siblings, it's not going to happen. You are the source of it. Once you realize that you are the person that you can rely on to bring change, whatever change you want to see in the world, be the change that you want to see in the world, that's when you develop this confidence. That's when nothing can break you. That's when you just keep going on and on and on. Because I think that's how I discovered it. And other than that, I worked hard on it. Okay, I'm like 23 years old. But since the age of 14, I've been working on public speaking. I've been taking part in debates. I've been taking part in speaking sessions. I'm still part of Public Speaking Society at the University of Nottingham at this stage. I'm still taking trainings on being a public speaker. I'm still working hard on this skill. It's about you being consistent. If you work on a skill for 7 years, I guarantee you, you will reach this place where you will be teaching that skill one day to other people. I hope
All
that
right,
answers.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so yeah. Can you still like answer the question left from Zoha? Because we have like one question left from Shahra. Okay, yeah, go ahead, Shahra.
Sorry.
You're still in mute.
Time zone. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for everyone. Thank you for such nice presentation. I want to ask you a question. In such project, how engaging the people for that subject? And the second question, I have a second question. What's your motivating to choose such a topic, quality of the education? Thanks.
You're welcome. So, I think your first question is about how engaging people were with this idea, right? Yeah, okay. So, it's just about how the moment people see something good happening, they might not be the ones to do it, but they will cheer you on because they also want to see that good. So, for example, in your class, if there's a person who says, teacher, let's have cake tomorrow. So the rest of the people, they will also be happy. Oh, yes, let's have cake tomorrow, right? So when you do something good and we convince other people that it's going to have a good result, it's going to make everybody happy, involve people, then they will be very, engaging with it. My entire company engaged with it so well. They would share each and everything. What I would do is that the day I will be launching a video, I will go to each department. I will record their reactions. And I will post their pictures. I will ask them to post their pictures. I will send them their videos. And that's when they will be so involved. They would be like, we love this project and we want to support you in whatever way possible. If you want us to, we also created a #1 hashtag on Twitter. So our company, it completely engaged with it. So people are very engaging when they realize that you're doing something good. If you make your story convincing enough, people will believe you, people will engage with you. Our second question was what motivated me to choose this topic? I think I've already shared this because I was passionate about bringing some change in the slum area that was near my school. I couldn't change the entire slum, maybe one day, but I could change one or two schools in it. I did that, and that was my motivation.
Okay, so yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for the direct question from you guys. So we have like one question, I think this man. So finally, we have question from the man. So he asked about, I won't ask please, but I have problem in voice. So my question is, what you advising me to lead team that we are working on startup and how to make my startup success? I think maybe, yeah, you can like complete because you already like answer this question like this, so maybe you can like fulfill for another information or add some tips for them.
Okay, we're going to learn how to make my startup successful. Have a very clear project. There's this model called Lean Canvas, social Lean Canvas, LE. I will write the name as well. Lean Canvas model. So like look it up. It's a template. It gives you purpose, it gives you problem, solution, key metrics, objectives, measurement, budget, impact. Those are all the things that if you have locked them in your startup and you present that to a person from whom you're seeking funds, they will go for it because you're so clear about it. All these people who have money and who want to maybe create change or who are going to go towards corporate social responsibility, they just need someone who's sure about what they're going to do. If you're just going to go come up and say, I'm very passionate about this project, I'm going to do it, this is the cost, make it very realistic. Don't like predict or forecast some profits out of it that you're never going to achieve. Be very realistic about it. Do your research. It's all about how good your research is, how good your story is, aka marketing, and how good is your how much confident you are that you can do it. So that's all. If it's a profit oriented startup, then it could be a bit tough because you have to justify the investment and the return on investment. If it's a social project that is going for funds, it's about what impact you're going to create. It has to be impact oriented, it has to be result oriented. If you can put it in your numbers, that will be even more amazing. If you're saying I'm going to reduce 30% of your waste that your company produces and they can publish it in their annual report, that's what they need. So you have to think from their perspective. Research the company like you would read the back of your hand. Just research them like crazy and go for it. It's all about your research about the people you are going for and your project. That's it. Knowledge is power, guys. So the more of an expert you are, the more they're going to listen to you. The more success is going to come to. It's all about hard work, consistency. That's all. These are the key elements. We think it's something huge out there, some shortcut, some tip you're gonna give me and I'm just gonna be successful. No, it's all about consistency, hard work, patience, tolerance, and all of that. Sorry.
Okay, thank you so much, Zoha. Okay, yeah, you can drink if you want, Zoha. That's okay. Okay, so maybe this is the last question from Zunaira. Because we already we have the limit for this meeting actually, and maybe Zoha also want to continue her activity. So will be the last. Can you please tell which is business or what kind of companies you approach for funding your project?
So I was already part of a company. So they funded the project mostly because it's their corporate social responsibility. So they funded the project, but now I'm not part of the company and I'm still associated with the community. So now I'm raising funds online. And I collaborated with, I identified this student-run organization that is very passionate about schools. What they do is they gather funds and they go and do the very activities that I want to do, to be seen in my school. So what I do is I connected with them, I partner with them, we introduced our collaboration, we actively collaborate on social media as well. And they recently finished the school I was working on. There were some finishing stuff. They did that even though I'm in UK. So it's about partnerships. Something that you cannot do yourself, you find a partner for it, you convince them with a major goal. And the best thing about non-for-profits and social projects is that you don't have to incentivize them for money. If you guys are working for the same cause, you guys will come on one platform because you just want to get and achieve that impact. You don't want to achieve money. So it becomes very easy that way.
Okay, thank you so much, Zoha, for answer all of the question from the participants. So maybe, yeah, once again, thank you so much also for coming in this session, Zoha. Maybe next session will be documentation session. So I invite you guys to open your camera so we can take some screenshot. Okay, so I hope you can open the camera. And then, I'm still waiting, guys. Don't forget, if you have any question or inquiries that you haven't delivered, you can direct us to Zoha because she already shared also her social media. Yeah, I still wait, guys. Please open your camera. Okay. Okay. I'm still waiting. Still waiting. Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, Farhan, are you ready to screenshot? Okay.
I was
Let me
ready.
count it. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Once more. 1, 2, 3.
All right, perfect.
Okay. Thank you so much, Farhan. So thank you once again for Zoha, that you already spend your time with us for sharing your experience and your knowledge. And then thank you so much for the participants also. So I invite you to attend for next session because we will talk about the social project more detail because we want to share about what the things that you should make and what the things that you should prepare for Istanbul Youth Summit. So next session will be important session that you should and must be there. Okay, just don't forget about it. And then for the time it will be same, and then maybe we can make it early, like 1 hour early from today's webinar, for today's pre-orientation. Thank you so much, Zoha, once again. Thank you so much for all the participants. Have a nice weekend and then keep health, and then don't forget to stay tuned in our social media. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much for your time and your participation. I enjoyed this a lot. Thank you, Corey.
Thank you, Zoha.
Beyond the line. nothing can hold